and I come to you to share something again with you. Today we'll be talking about this topic that is on everyone's mind. It's on everyone's every church, and everyone's be talking about it. And the thing is where Prophet Passion Java, one prophet in the US called Prophet Passion Java, who is a Zimbabwean by origin, and he moved over to the US, prophesied, and he said that another prophet Shepherd Bushiri, was going to die before the end of the year. So he basically prophesied that that prophet is going to die, and that is he saw in the vision that the prophet was going to die. Prophet Shepherd.
God bless all who will be in touch. I love you with the love of Jesus. I'm still praying for Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, but I saw him dying in the month of December. It's all in my book. If you have not yet downloaded my book, you can download it.
Bushiri, and Prophet Shepherd Bushiri is one of the prophets here in South Africa. So it's been on everybody's mind, and everybody's talking about it. And I think it's important that we share and we provide light on what is actually happening. So, and then Prophet Shepherd Bushiri came out to say that he was not going to die. That essentially the prophet was being misled, and that prophecy was actually false.
They're trying to prophesy about my death. Some attention seekers looking for attention to become popular and fame, using some people's names and trying like, oh, I saw it in the spirit, he's gonna die, just for attention. We are around. We're not going anywhere.
Powerful, my God, glory to God. Amen.
And I want even to mention his name because that's what he wanted. He wanted it. So when I say Major One will say my name, I'm not mentioning his name because it's fake. That's fake. I'm not dying. They say, like in December he's dying. On the 31st December I'll be in FNB study.
Powerful, glory to God. Yeah. That's what we know.
It's not right. It's not even.
And eventually Prophet Shepherd Bushiri accused Prophet Passion Java of being a fake prophet. Now I've watched some of these prophecies that Prophet Passion Java has been giving, as well as some of the prophecies for Prophet Shepherd Bushiri. And I can tell from those prophecies that some of those prophecies that are being used by God. So God is actually using them and speaking to them. But there are certain prophecies also that it's prophecy that you can actually get from worries. What do I mean? There's prophecy of men and there's prophecy of God. God can give you prophetic messages, and also men, your worries can also give you prophetic messages. So prophecy of men are different from prophecy of God. Are two different things. Prophecy of God prophecy of God comes from the heavenly realm, come directly from God. Now the question that I have here, especially with Prophet Passion Java's prophecy, is he should come out and clarify exactly how this death is going to happen, because right now we don't know how he's going to die. Because if he says he says Prophet Passion Java, Prophet Bushiri dying, nobody knows when he's going to die, what day he's going to die, but all he said was that he's going to die before the year end. And the first thing about prophecy is, if you see prophecy about death, it happens in many forms. So I don't know which form that he saw, but prophecies about death happen by many forms. Sometimes it happens in a dream, that God comes to you in a dream and he shows you that this person is going to die. And when he shows you this person is going to die, sometimes you see the person being trampled upon by an ox. So you see an ox walking up on top of someone and scratching that person. As a prophecy of death, because ox represent the earth, and if you find the ox walking on top of that person, means that person is going to die. Sometimes it happens when you hear about death. The angel of death comes and shows you. You see, like in a funeral, you see that person dead in a funeral. But sometimes when you see in the dream, it can mean the reverse. So this prophecy, one of the prophecy that I'm looking at the prophecy, I don't know how he got the prophecy, but it look at those kind of prophecy that can be a reverse. A dream can be a reverse of reality. Sometimes when you see yourself dying in the dream, it can be a dream of, it can be long life. It can be long life. It means the thing that was supposed to kill you in that dream cannot kill you again physically. So it can be that Prophet Passion Java has misread that particular prophecy. The other reason I'm saying this is because when I look at the realm of the spirit, and I've been having dreams about things that have been happening. Some of the dreams I don't say. When I look at the spirit, I don't see Prophet Shepherd Bushiri dead before December. So meaning that there's no worry in my spirit, and especially my dreams, that shows that there's a prophet, somebody's going to die before this, especially very close. Now, how do I know that? Sometimes if something's going to happen urgently, you have the same dream that happens more than once. You have the same thing more than once in the vision, in the dream, and in the vision, the dream happen more than once. Sometimes in the dream, it's interpreted. So you find him dying in the dream, and it's interpreted in the dream that he's going to die. And sometimes it may also be that you find him, not only that he's dying, but you find him doing things that dead people do. For example, if you see a person that is dead in a dream, you can find birds coming to eat the food that he's having, or he's sitting somewhere and birds are coming around, or animals are playing around him and they're not scared of him. So when you find a situation where an animal is not scared of a person, in that dream is actually saying that person is going to die, because a bird is not scared of a living. Bird is not scared of a statue. So the person that you're seeing in that dream will be a statue. It means that the bird is coming to eat from a statue. Birds recognize statue. They know the difference between a statue and a human being. If the person is alive and has a soul, the birds run away from that person. That's a dream that Daniel dreamt, and he told the butler, he says, I see you 3 days you leave this prison, and when you bake your bread, I see birds came and ate your bread. So because the birds came and ate your bread, the person that was holding that bread was a statue, was not you, was not a human being, and he knew the person was going to die. And he told the man, in 3 days time, the king will take you out and kill you, and you are going to die. So the question now is Prophet Shepherd Bushiri going to die? Now, I have a lot of question around that prophecy, because if you see a prophecy of a man of God dying, and you know that person. I watched Prophet Passion Java response. He responded that he knows Prophet Shepherd Bushiri through Prophet Ubed Angel. And my question is, if you know Prophet Shepherd Bushiri through Prophet Ubed Angel, and you see the vision that is going to die, why not tell Prophet Ubed Angel? Or why not call Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and tell him, listen, I'm seeing something in the vision that looks like you're going to die. Let's pray about it. Because prophecy doesn't mean it's cast in stone. You can change prophecy. You can pray about it and you can change it. So let's say I see somebody dying and it's my loved one, and you love that person. Because of the love for that person, you pray that thing should be reversed. So I think the correct thing to do when you see those kind of dreams is to pray and ask God to reverse that prophecy. To reverse that prophecy, because nobody benefits from the death. So if a person dies, or the person is going to die, nobody benefits. But when we talk about death, who dies? Because the soul never dies. The soul was not created, the soul never dies. So who actually dies? It's the body that dies. So as believers, when we live after this earth, we're going to continue to live with Christ. So when I look at all of what is happening, and I'm looking at Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, there have been threats in his life now, and that's a problem, because it seems to me as if Prophet Shepherd Bushiri has now sent threats to Prophet Passion, and Prophet Passion responded that he's been receiving death threat, and people saying they are going to kill him because he prophesied that Prophet Shepherd Bushiri was going to die. And this is not the way of the kingdom. And that's why I talk about be careful of prophecy. Be careful of prophecy, because prophecy is not for a show. It's not for your personal show. Prophecy is for the glory of God. So when you prophesy something, it's for the glory of God. It's not for your personal show. If you are doing something that is for a performance, you're trying to please the crowd, or you're trying to make yourself known, or you're trying to do something for yourself, you're trying to magnify yourself, this is what happens. And Prophet Shepherd Bushiri should also stop magnifying himself, because he should be very careful, because sometimes the prophecies that are spoken into, so it's not foretelling, it's forthtelling. And the church needs to pray about this kind of prophecy, because we don't know what is happening. Because I looked in the realm of the spirit and I didn't see Prophet Shepherd Bushiri dying by December, but it's possible that Prophet Passion Java saw him die, and something needs to be done about it. The wise thing to do now is to go and pray and ask God to reverse that dream, to reverse that vision, and to plead in the face of God. There's a story in the Bible about this king that was going to die, and the prophet came to that king and told the king, "King, make your house to order, because the God that says that you are going to die." And the Bible said that king got up and the king prayed. And the king prayed, and the king opened the heart and told God, he says, the dead do not glorify you. He He says, what is my debt to you? And the Bible says when the king prayed, God sent that prophet to go back to the king and to tell the king that I've added you 15 more years and that you're not going to die in 3 days. You're going to live for 15 more years. Why? Because the king prayed. So you can change your prophetic message. It's not cast in stone. You can change it. If there are things that you see that the prophet has given that is not aligned with God's will, God's purpose for your life, you can pray it and you can call those things and say, this thing is not aligned with God's will and God's purpose for my life, and it's going to be changed. I'm excited. Now, there's a lot of stuff going out there. There's a lot of infighting. I see some of the people have taken sides, and some of the prophets have stood beside Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and the other prophets that have stood beside Prophet Pastorran Java, and I see Prophet Ubed Angel is also taking sides to say he's now supporting Prophet Shepherd Bushiri. But all of this is, to me, is just giving Satan the upper hand. It's giving Satan the upper hand. And I think it's a time where the church needs to come together and look at this prophecy and ask ourselves, what should we do? I think Pastor Java needs to go and seek the face of God, and the church to seek the face of God and ask, what are we going to do with this prophecy? Because that prophecy from God and that prophecy from men, that prophecy that can be changed, that prophecy that cannot be changed, and the reason why it cannot be changed, we need to know. And I think there's still more that's going to come out of this prophetic message. Is he going to die by this year end? Do I see it in the realm of the spirit? I looked in the spirit. I've been having dreams, several dreams. None of my dreams has pointed to seeing a prophet dying by year end. Is it possible? Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's going to happen. Maybe Prophet Java has got a gift that can see that, and we need to also recognize that it's possible that he saw that in the realm of the spirit. But sometimes you need to handle some of these things differently. And I see Prophet Shepherd Bushiri shouting also in the church and saying he's not going to die. The church needs to pray, because the best way to address a prophecy that you don't like is not to attack the bearer of the news. Because sometimes your attack to the bearer of the news can unleash different angels. Remember, every prophet has got an angel around him. Prophet Pastorran Java has his own angels. And sometimes when you start attacking, you unleash other angels. You put yourself in a more difficult situation. Rather than pray about it, be wise about these kind of things. Because these things usually, they don't end the way we think it's going to end. They don't end the way we think it's going to end. We need to be very careful. Prophecies are given so that we should speak the mind of God. But sometimes we should look at the context in which we are speaking, so that we don't speak God's words in the wrong context. And if the prophecy was given because God wanted us to pray about it and change it, I think that's the clarity that needs to be made. We need to say, this is a prophecy that the man of God saw in terms of the prophetic realm. But as the church, as Prophet Shepherd Bushiri's ministry, they need to pray about it and change it and reverse it, but not to attack. I hope that you write to me. For those that want clarity, those that want more about this, write to me. In Jesus' name.